a neighborhood and they see you bringing in $4,000 or $5,000 worth of stuff, if they want to get in the house, they're going to take it.
Yeah. So you don't forfeit. You keep fighting.
For sure.
You gotta keep fighting through it.
You got to keep fighting. And we've already fought through so much.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is, someone's still in the AC unit. Now, the problem is you don't know who does it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no proof
Recourse.
of, but it's, most of the time it's crackheads that's going and doing it, and they,
people who got nothing to lose.
Yeah, they don't have nothing to lose.
I'm thinking them wealthy thoughts, baby. Everything about you. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy StephenMotivate back at you again with another edition of Wealthy Thoughts. Here with my co-host. What's up, bro?
Steve James. What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good, man. Blessed, favored, feeling really good about things that we got going. How you doing?
I'm good, man. This is a new season of Wealthy Thoughts and a new season of my life.
Yeah.
So, it's uncomfortable.
So I'm miserable, actually.
It gets uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I just think that's the beauty of growth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no matter, out of all the things that I've done, everything has always been uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that's just part of life. I think that's just part of growing up and experiencing things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's okay to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
It's okay to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because chances are, if you're uncomfortable, there's a reason for it. And I kind of have a hard time of embracing that at times, because it's like, I should be way further ahead than what I am. You kind of have those type of talks with yourself, just how life plays out. But I just think it's important to embrace the uncomfortableness.
Yeah.
And just because, on the other side of that is, something's coming. And you feel it, you just don't. It's just tough at the time when you're dealing with it. Like, oh, okay, when's this going to pass?
Right.
Because I'm tired of it. So
yeah.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just this is a very fragile part of life right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
I feel you.
Fatherhood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That part of it is, it's like you can't shut that off. That just doesn't shut off.
No, it definitely doesn't.
You know what I mean? Because as soon as that sun breaks, them little humans are up and ready to go. Active.
Going.
So
should we talk about that? Should we talk about fatherhood?
I'm cool with talking about fatherhood. I love it.
I love it too, I think. No, I love being a father. But I wanted to comment on something else you said, like, as far as being uncomfortable. I've always said, like, your growth happens when you're uncomfortable, right? You remember, like, you was young. Don't nobody ever think I grew because I'm so small. But at one point I was growing and couldn't fit clothes and was having growing pains, and you'd actually hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Your body is starting, and your mom be like, that's just growing pains.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry. It's fine. It's like, no, I think something wrong. No, it's growing pains.
Yeah.
And it makes you uncomfortable to grow.
Yeah.
And so I think fatherhood is another example of, like, an example of something that makes you uncomfortable at times, but that it's simultaneously growing you.
Right.
Right. Yeah. My kid spitting up in my face. It's like, okay, how's this making me better? How's this making me a better person? Mm-hmm. But somehow it's growing you.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, okay, I'm becoming more patient. I'm becoming more. So talk about that. Talk about being a father, being an entrepreneur. Talk about you recently, you're like bi-coastal now, all over the place. So talk about that.
Man, so fatherhood is such a beautiful thing. And the reason why it's beautiful.
I feel like you're good at it too, by the way. I feel like you're good at fatherhood.
At fatherhood?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, a lot of people say that. It's like, man, you make it look so easy. I'm like, well, it's not easy at all. I think for me, it's, I don't know if it's because I have boys. Because boys are really easy.
No, I wouldn't know.
Boys are easy. It's just, like, I don't have girls, so it's kind of hard to compare. But I go off of you. I go off of Corey. You know, I see how the girls are. It's just different.
It's I'm gonna talk about the girls.
Yeah, it's just different. So I don't like, my buddies be like, oh well, the girls are moody and the boys are moody.
Yeah.
Like there's times when they'll wake up like, oh, you woke up on the wrong side, like just pure attitude. Like, why are you like this? But I just think that it's just a new space. This is new.
Yeah.
Even the kids are like, just because there are kids, it's like we're still learning our kids.
Yeah.
Like you're a stranger, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is like I'm still learning how to talk to you.
Yeah.
How to not be so stern in it. You know what I mean? Like kind of letting them, kind of explore and do different things. You just don't want you as a parent, especially of boys, you don't want them to kill one another. So it's like, all right, relax.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
don't
they're
break.
just so rough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everything they do is rough.
Yeah.
Especially the middle one.
Yeah.
The middle one, Sire, he's just rough.
Yeah.
And I just, that's how we were. So I just understand. So it's like, I have to keep that in my mind. Like, okay, well, this is how we was growing up.
Yeah.
We're going to fight one another, and they're so close in age. Like, me, Cameron, and Kyle, we had a kind of a
little separation,
a little gap.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Them being almost height level is just crazy. Their little fight battles be epic. It's like, stop gouging your brother's eyes out. Like, why are you doing that? You know what I mean? Like, it's like certain things. I don't know. It's just,
UFC.
It's funny, and I just
Toddler
try
style.
to. Yeah, I try to. I mean, well, we grew up in a 2-parent household. You know what I mean? I'm parenting like how my parents parent. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's what makes it easy, because it's like once you had that upbringing, it kind of makes, it's just like, okay, me, Brianna, and the kids. Like, this is my family.
Yeah.
That's what makes it easier, is because it's like, okay, we're not co-parenting.
Yeah.
You're not dropping them off on the weekends.
Yeah.
Like, I have time with my kids.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part that, I don't know. And then I feel like we just older too. It's like, now all of my buddies who had kids when they was younger, their kids going to college.
Right.
It's like, man, I wish we would have started early.
Right.
It's like, now we start completely all over. I'm back in the gym trying to get my body right because they jumping on me. I'm like, that hurt.
Right.
Let me get some muscles put on me, because
my kids be hurting me all the time.
But I don't know, man. I'm loving this space. As a father, I just think the biggest hurdle right now is the juggling between that and just, making sure the next move is the best move.
Yeah.
Financially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That thing, because, I'm still in real estate. I feel like that real estate for me that's my head honcho.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that I really want to make my head honcho, because I've experienced a lot with it, and I'm seeing how it moves.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing other people who's in that space, how it's moving.
Yeah.
And to be able to have that freedom, real estate kind of gives you that once you have a good team.
Right.
Like once you have a good developer and, you know what I mean, a good contractor.
Mm-hmm.
And once you've done it, just the experience alone kind of gives you that peace of mind. Like, oh, okay, I've done this before. It's just about rinse and repeating.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So I just think well, actually from the last season, so the new build that we did before, we sold that this year.
Okay.
In February. So that was a blessing.
Yeah.
It took a little while for that one. And like this is just a learning process. People that the house that we built was on the main street, busy street.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still turning that area.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people love the house because it's a brand new house. They love the house. They just didn't love that it was on a busy street.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, okay, now I have to find, because that's the thing with real estate. You only need to find one person.
Right.
But now going forward, in my eyes, I don't want to buy land and build and flip in the hood anymore.
Okay.
And that's just because there's too many variables. And I'm seeing once you go deeper downtown, closer to downtown, in those type of areas where they're at, number one, your margins are larger.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where people want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you're buying houses and when you're buying land in those places, it's like you just have to have the patience to be able to stick it out. Someone's going to buy the product. It's just a matter of when they're going to buy it.
So let me ask you this. So if jumping back to the children part, so did you have, so the last season we talked about the big flip, the big win.
Yep.
Let me ask you about that. Do you feel like that got you too high? Like you came out the gate. Let's say that's like going to the league and winning a championship your rookie year.
Rookie year. Mm-hmm.
Is that a good characterization of that?
That actually is. That's a great analogy because, and this wasn't for that house. It was the way the market is.
Yeah.
And you can't control that.
Yeah.
So we struck gold on our first situation, which was a blessing, but it was a headache all the way up to the blessing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, we dealt with that, but then it was just like, oh, okay. But the house sold so
That's
quick.
A bar. It was a headache all the way up to the blessing.
It sold in 8 days.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So houses normally sit for 30, 60 days, depending on the product.
And did you have your oldest son at that time?
Yeah. He was the only one we had.
He was the only one. So you just had one child.
One child.
Did you feel like that impacted that deal in any in any way?
With what? Him?
Having one child while doing that?
No, because we had a good contractor.
Mm-hmm.
So I was it was just a different situation because, we're coming back and forth from California, you know what I mean, just to check on the property and dealing with all of that. That part was kind of easier because I trusted my contractor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I didn't have to really baby him.
Now, when you flip to the second property, and this one, as you kind of just touched on, was a build. You bought the land, you built it up, but it was in an area that was still turning. Yeah, right.
It's still turning. Yeah,
must be the lingo for it was the hood.
Yep. And they're still gentrifying that area, so you can go a block down, and them houses 600,000.
Oh wow!
So,
but another block over,
is
slow down.
It's crucial.
Wow, that's crazy.
So, but as a visionary, you have to see that. You have to know, like, okay, here goes this big park that's because we have Brookside Park is there. So eventually it's gonna, something's gonna happen there. Yeah. Because it's already turning. It's just the slower, and you have to find the type of buyer that wants that. This is literally a busy street. You can't even park on the main street. You got to go the alleyway to get to where you're going.
Yeah.
So, and with that, we had to make some tweaks because the houses are, they're close to one another.
Yeah.
So each house is, you know how the houses are like in those areas. We didn't have no garage. We just had like a landing strip where they can pull in and park. It's actually crazy. We had a buyer, and she was about to close on the place. We didn't have a fence at the time. We just had the landing pad. She said that she just had a gut feeling that she should go over to the house. Late night, she got out of bed and went to the house. She goes to the house. There's a van in that landing pad, homeless person.
Basically like a driveway.
In the driveway, yeah. So it's like the house is here, but it's a long gated like property.
Yeah.
So the property is very long. So it's like all the way there, you know. So we just had like a little gravel area where you can park.
Yeah.
But no fence.
Yeah.
So anybody can do whatever. So she goes by, sees the person in the driveway, calls off the closing.
Wow.
And at this time, that amount was higher than what we ended up selling it for. So we ended up going back, like she was about to close, I think
at a higher
amount than what we originally sold it for, which it took like another 2 months to sell after that happened.
Wow.
So she was like, I felt uncomfortable. Like there was a homeless man sitting in the car. He had his dog chained to the fence. Jesus. Like it was his home.
Yeah, he moved in. He had his dog chained to the fence.
It was just like, why?
So did you have children at this time? I mean, I know you had one child.
I had Saint Sire.
So now you got two. When that deal falls through.
When that deal falls through. No, actually, I think Stevie might have just been born.
Okay, so now you have 3 children.
I have 3 children at that point.
And you're trying to make the next best move.
And so we get this, decided to put a fence around it because at least that gives the property security.
Yeah.
As soon as we did that, someone put in an offer, and we ended up closing on that. So we sold that in February.
Okay. But you said the offer came in a little bit lower. So how did that make you feel?
I mean, it's never good when you get a lower offer, but once you are in real estate and you're paying back loans and HELOCs, so we're still doing the HELOC play.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is to continue to pay that note, but going to the next deal. You don't want to sit on, because we're flipping, we're
so the
selling
volume,
ours.
Right?
Yeah, we're selling ours, and and eventually, we want to be able to flip 5 to 10 to 20 houses a year.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's the goal. So when you sit on one and it takes forever, it's like, okay, we're trying to do whatever we need to do to get rid of this property,
right?
Because we don't want it. We're not going to turn it into a rental. It take forever to get our money back,
right?
Now we could refi it out, like that's always.
Now you're dealing with debt. And
that's always the
strategy. Yeah.
That's always the strategy. It's just like, okay, if we don't sell it, we can put a renter in it, Airbnb it, and then refinance it out.
Yeah.
But we want to get our money.
That's a long-term play.
That's a long-term play. Right now we're trying to build up to flip, and then we can have our sprinkles of rentals. Because I want to be in a, my dad, he don't want to be a landlord.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I don't want to, he don't want to deal with that. I'm kind of the opposite because it's forever money. I look at that as mailbox forever money.
Yeah, and it would make sense that y'all would have 2 different views.
For sure.
He's in a different stage of life.
And I'm cool with that because I'm like, let's just continue to build and sell the houses. You know what I mean? Just make sure our margins are right. But with rural, that's the house that we built. Once we put that fence there, it was a security thing. Now someone feels secure. You can't just come pull up in my driveway, it's a fence, you got to do the unlatch and all of that. So as soon as we did that, the house sold.
Wow.
So that was a blessing, and
blessing and a lesson, right?
Yeah, blessing and a lesson. And it really wasn't the only lesson was, so here's the thing, on the first house that we did, our AC unit got stolen, and then we put we started fencing them up, drilling them in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, oh, well, we're not going to do that on this next house. We're going to make sure it's secure.
Yeah.
They cut through that.
The fence. The security.
So it's like, if someone wants something, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
Now, the lesson is to know not to do that again so they can't take it so easily. But if they want it, they're going to take it. So, we had to replace the AC unit. Like, this is... and everyone goes through this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know anyone that's actively doing real estate that has not had something stolen.
So how, I want to keep this tilt in here, because how do you think this impacted your fatherhood? How do you think this impacted, okay, the day you find out that they stole You learn the lesson from the last house. You find out, okay, I need to secure the AC unit for my new real estate deal. The day you find out that they stole it, even with you taking extra precautions for them not to steal it, how does that impact when you come home that day and you got to deal with your wife and you got to deal with your children? How did that impact you from a father?
Well, you know, it's actually crazy because I was at home when my dad sent the picture because he sent it to me. So I was at home playing with the kids.
Yeah.
Immediately, like, get off of me.
Go
to your rooms. Nah, but it, you know, it's just, I don't even know how my skin is so thick with this now. Like, it's just like, oh, we just gotta, you know what I mean? We gotta roll with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the minute you like start dwelling in that, it'll turn you off. And I know a lot of people that's happened to. Oh man, that real estate thing. It's just like, oh, they stole my, you know, oh, they stole all my appliances. I don't put the appliances in until the house is sold.
Yeah.
So so there's like processes of how you should do things, like the AC unit, the appliances, because they're going to steal those things. If you're in a neighborhood and they see you bringing in $4,000 or $5,000 worth of stuff, if they want to get in the house, they're going to take it.
Yeah.
So to prevent that, you put it in the agreement of when you guys close for the house, then we'll, you know, chances are the best thing to do is have the appliances somewhere, you know, where you can store it.
So you don't forfeit, you keep fighting.
For sure.
You gotta keep fighting through it.
You gotta keep fighting. And we've already fought through so much.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is, you know, someone's still in the AC unit. Now the problem is you don't know who does it. Like there's no proof of, you know, but it's, you know, most of the time it's crackheads that's going and doing it, and they, you know,
people who got nothing to lose.
Yeah, they don't have nothing to lose. So, you know, they'll come take your property. That's the part that is the worst. It's like, man, I worked hard to put that AC unit in there, and it's not no cheap. This is the one that's the AC and the heat together. This is a $4,000 unit. You know what I mean? So for somebody to steal it, you don't know who it is. That's the part that it's just it leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not going to stray me away from doing real estate.
Yeah.
There's too much money in it.
Right.
And it's the most money that I've ever made in all the businesses that I'm doing it. So why would I let a hiccup, you know, stray me from being successful at doing real estate, especially with new builds? Like a lot of people that are doing real estate are doing flips or rentals. You know what I mean? They're getting in and they're putting a little bit of money in it. But when you're actually buying the land and actually building a new product, that's the route that I'm on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to be one of those black developers that are developing neighborhoods and people come to you like, man, I like your product. Can you build, you know what I mean? Like, those are the type of opportunities. Once the track record goes, like the minute you stop, you know, you can shut off somebody wanting you to build them a $1.2 million crib.
Right.
So, back to the fatherhood thing, I don't think that I don't allow that to affect fatherhood part of it, because the money that I already have is from the deal that we did before.
I'm taking care of my family with this.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not actually.
Yeah.
I'm not taking care of my family with the real estate money. The real estate money is snowballing into
other stuff.
The next real estate deal.
The next real estate deal.
Yeah. So,
but you see a plan for it to eventually.
No, for sure, 100%.
So it's like, you know, that motivates you.
Yeah, that motivates me, and eventually, I want to, I want each one of my child to have a house. Like I want the rental to be there, so when they turn 18 and when they're about to go to college or whatever they want to do, we can either sell the house or refi it out and buy a house wherever they're going to go to school at, if they decide to go to school, and have their roommates pay the rent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like different strategies of how real estate works. And real estate works.
Yeah.
They're not making no more land. Land is done.
How much time do you think you got to put in on, and we'll get into more of your deals in future episodes, but just to give people that are interested in real estate an idea, how much time would you say that you've put in I don't know, per week on your deals?
Probably 25.
25 hours a week. Texting, talking, checking, emails.
But I check
getting back
like,
on stuff.
Yeah,
researching.
I'm researching every day. Like I research like I'm on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So I stay on LoopNet. I stay on Biz Buy Sell.
Yeah.
You know, I stay on those type of like Zillow.
Yeah.
You know, I'm checking to see what comps are, because you can check the comps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even if you don't have a realtor, you can check the comps yourself. All you need to do is go to sale, see what's sold in that area, and you can see what stuff has sold or what stuff is renting at. So you know, I'm constantly on those sites because I feel like you have to be.
Yeah.
And I feel like this deal that we just picked up. Actually, my phone is blowing up now because we're closing on a house right now that we just snowballed the money from the last deal into this.
Yeah.
So it's a messed up crib, but it comes with a lot. So instead of us flipping the crib that I know is already messed up, I know the foundation is messed up. We looked in the basement, it's all jacked up.
Yeah.
We're gonna tear it down and then build 2 brand new cribs.
Mm-hmm.
So this right here is a big play.
Yeah.
Because now you turn 1 crib into 2.
So why am I not a part of this?
You are actually.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk offline.
Your name's on the D.
We actually need some hard money. But yeah, no, this is a big play because, you know, it's a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
BOGO. Buy one,
and a
get
lot
one.
of people have not, the crib's been on the market for like a year and a half. They haven't been able to sell it.
Yeah.
But that's because contractors are going in there, seeing that it's messed up, and they're like, it's gonna be too much money to flip it. To you know, you're gonna put more money than what you bought it for.
Yeah.
So instead of doing that, we just knock it down.
Yeah.
Knock it down and then build 2 brand new cribs, and they're like literally 5 minutes from downtown. So it's in an area that you know, it's upcoming area. Them houses are going for $500-600 over there.
Awesome.
So
dope, man.
Yep.
Well, that's good, man. Fatherhood and real estate. I mean, I look at you and say it's possible. I like the fact that you say you need that you're doing like 25 hours a week, because that's getting close to a full-time job. I mean, it's part-time, if not anything.
And it's really when you're actively looking for something. But when you have a good team, when it goes to the building part of it, the most you're going to be doing is going over there, overseeing, picking up like once you go start picking up supplies, and that's time consuming. Yeah. Now you're driving somewhere, picking out all the supplies, taking it over to the job site.
Yeah.
Making sure they're not doing nothing crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's how important it is to have a reliable team.
Yeah.
And someone that's not just taking your money and go using it on a whole nother project.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a learning lesson in itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want a contractor who already has money.
Right.
I want someone who's not looking for my money to fund their life. They already have money. It's like, okay, I'll build your house for you. This is the price.
Yeah.
You know, but on this one, I want to actually piece it out.
Yeah.
Like I want to actually subcontract everything.
Yeah.
To see how much you're actually saving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because contractors, they'll give you here's your, you know, it's $200 to build the house.
Yeah.
And that's with materials and labor.
Mm-hmm.
So if I buy the materials, what am I really saving?
Right.
You know what I mean? Can we actually build this if I'm buying the materials myself for $150?
Mm-hmm.
Then I save $50,000.
Yeah.
That's a win.
Yeah.
But I want to see that because I've never done that. I've never been that hands-on where I'm going and getting the actual, give me the sheet. Let me go get all the materials. Boom.
Yeah.
So
it's dope, man.
Yeah.
Real estate. I want to get into it at some point. Any final thoughts for the people?
Man, get into real estate and study your market wherever you're at. Study your market and just get into the game. Because anybody that's on the sidelines that's looking to get in, they're losing. The only way you win is by taking that step and finding a mentor, finding somebody that can put you on game of how it works. Because the only way you're going to learn is by getting in it. No one can tell you, here goes all of the things right here, go do it. You're never gonna know unless you get into the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I tell people. I want it to be clear. Like, this is not, I didn't come up off no money. You know, I did this with my parents. Like, this is not we inherited some money at all. I saved up and bought a crib with, you know, my very first crib.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now I don't want to use my money no more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, the whole point now is finding the investors, finding the hard money lenders that are going to lend you the money. That's where I'm at now. Now you only have to put up a certain percent instead of funding the whole deal.
Right.
Because that's what we've done the whole time, is funded the whole deal. And I have buddies that like both. You know what I mean? I have some buddies that only use their own money. They don't want to deal with no banks.
Yeah.
But I think that dealing with the banks, you go further quicker.
Yeah.
Because I can find 3, 4, 5 hard money lenders to give me $100,000, and I only have to put up $10,000 for each lender. Now I put up 40 instead of putting up. Yeah. Now I'm doing 4 different projects.
Leverage.
You know what I mean? So the leverage game is super crucial, and I think everyone needs to learn that when it comes to real estate. You don't have to be a millionaire in real estate to start real estate. You can start with $10,000, $15,000. You have to position yourself and find somebody who has the experience.
Yeah.
Because a hard money lender, if you've never done real estate before, they're not going to give you nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you've never done a new build, they're not going to give you nothing. Yeah. They want to know that you have experience in the game.
Yeah.
So find somebody who has the experience. If you got good credit and your buddy is doing the real estate, cool. Use your credit, use his experience. Now y'all go get the money. Now y'all do the partnerships and, you know, let that play out how it goes. But leverage is key. And OPP, other people's OPP, other people's property.
Oh yeah.
OPM, other people's money is the name of the game. I don't care what anyone says.
For sure.
So
getting the real estate, I mean, you heard it here. That's an opportunity. You've heard what it takes, and hopefully some transparency as to what you are getting yourself into. But it is rewarding. So that's it, man. Another episode of Wealthy Thoughts.
Yes, sir.
It's possible. Peace.
Get in the game.
I'm thinking them wealthy thoughts, baby.